Shalom, call all Yahweh Shem, Shalom to the left. I'm gonna just let a little intro of this video play so you can see how unstable Creepy Joe is, aka Sippy Cup Joe. This shit play, man. But hey, all jokes aside though, this shit right here, what they actually trying to do is real serious. And you Akim, you'll actually be going out teaching and uploading videos and be able to find people around you, warning people. To the average eye, you may look like you're crazy. You don't know what you're talking about. You ain't really doing nothing with yourself. But to the powers that be, the elite, hey, you doing something major as fuck. And they know that you're actually telling the truth. So what they want to do, this is what they want to do. I'm going to let this play and I'll post some precepts and try to cut this video short.
He's been studying for weeks, working up
boy.
to today.
Harassing the full potential of those who are harassing. And I know you all know, but a lot of people may not know what COVID is.
What are your plans?
120 days. Give me a break.
The proof of the puddings and eating.
Libya, we should be opening up the for example, in Libya, of Libya. Sorry, I'm going to get in trouble with staff. I don't do this the right way. Jennifer Jacob.
Now look at your boy, man. They got him reading the scripts and he's still fucking up. But anyway, so I'm gonna read this article, then I'll pull these precepts. Let me pull this up. Alright, says Biden's radical snitch program. And I'm gonna actually title this video "Snitch Program." Sounds very familiar. Now, it says Biden's radical snitch program was also implemented under Barack Obama. It says Joe Biden's administration announced their plans to create ways for Americans to report radicalized friends and family to the government in an effort to fight domestic terrorism. This involves creating contexts in which those who are family members or friends or co-workers know that there are pathways and avenues to raise concerns and seek help for those who they have perceived to be radicalizing and potentially radicalizing towards violence, the official said. See, it's a bunch of bullshit. Because you got militias running around. You got Klansmen running around. You got the Pizzagate shit going on. But what they really worrying about, this is what they worrying about. They worrying about these scriptures, man. That's how valuable these scriptures is. So let me pull this real quick. Let's see. And this straight out of the scriptures, man. It's like you can't make this up. It's in the book of Matthew chapter 10. Let's see what I'm going to go. This book of Matthew chapter 10, verse 16, it says, "Behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be ye therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves." That's one of my favorite lines. So I always meditate on that and think of that a lot. Because you got to move like that. Be wise as a serpent, harmless as a dove. It says, "But beware of men, for they will deliver you up to the councils, and they will scourge you in their synagogues, and you should be brought before governors." What they say right here? Hey, they say you're going to do what? They want people to turn you in to the government, right? It says that you should be brought before governors and kings for my sake, for a testimony against them and the Gentiles. But when they deliver you up, take no thought how or what you shall speak. For it should be given you in that same hour what you shall speak. For it is not ye that speak, but the Spirit of your Father will speak in you. So when they actually do this, you ain't gonna have no book on deck. You're gonna be able to pull your phone out, pull them precepts out, but the Spirit will be on you. Actually cut them with the scriptures, whatever they try to bring up and try to say that you so-called radicalized or whatever nonsense Esau try to bring out, man. They ain't gonna be able to gainsay what you say. Because these words, that's how powerful these words are. Like I said, some people they'll look at this like, oh, you just going over, you reading that Bible, you reading that book. That was back in them times or whatever. Hey, the powers that be, man, the elites, the ones that actually run stuff, they monitor this. That's what they care about. How people go on YouTube or TikTok and what's the other stuff, the Instagram and the Facebook, and sit there and watch all them videos. They got motherfuckers paid to watch these videos. Anyway, in verse 21 it says, "And the brother shall deliver up the brother to death." So, hey, watch who you calling bruh. That might not be your brother. It says, and the father, the child. So your own fucking father fucking turn your ass in. It says, and the children shall rise up against their parents and cause them to be put to death. But you got some people that's actually teachers or whatever, bishops or whatever position they may hold. They got kids. They actually try to teach these scriptures to them, and they be acting like little demons. They don't want to hear them. They don't want to hear them about the scriptures, so they gonna be turning their parents in. It says, and you should be hated of all men for my name's sake. He that endure to the end shall be saved. So this is something definitely you gotta be aware of. That's how serious this is. It's not no joke. It's not no game. Even though I started the video off with a little laughter, because you gotta have balance. You gotta be able to laugh and be serious. Let me see what other precept I want to pull up. Go to the book of Luke. There's no new thing under the sun. They did this before. I'm gonna go to the book of Acts 2 once this actually loads up. So the book of Luke chapter 15. Let's see where I want to start at. Get to the main point. Alright, I'm gonna read on down for 37 because this is valuable too. That's why you're supposed to watch. Like all these videos and stuff, through the spirit, the people that actually running RT and all this stuff, a lot of the information they put out, just so we can actually filter it through the scriptures. Because, come on, man, it lined up just perfect. It's easy to make a lesson. Now it says in verse 37 in the book of Luke chapter 12, blessed are those servants whom the Lord, when he comes, shall find watching. Verily I say unto you, that he that shall gird himself and make them to sit down to meat, and will come forth and serve them. And if you come in the second watch, or come in the third watch, and find them so, blessed are those servants. So you want to be watching. Like the scripture say, blessed is he that readeth, and also blessed are those servants who the Lord, when he cometh, shall find watching. Now verse 39, it says, and this, know that if the good man of the house had known what hour the thief would come, he would have watched, and not have suffered his house to be broken through. But ye therefore are ready also, for the Son of Man cometh at an hour when ye think not. So right when people least expect it, that's when shit really gonna pop off and hit the fan. Cause now you got stuff opening back up too, so everybody riding around. Like I was riding around today and I was seeing how traffic was. I'm like, damn, traffic wasn't like this when they was shutting shit down. Now you got people everywhere. And you got a lot of people with more cars or whatever, motorcycles, bikes, whatever. Now, verse 41, it says, then Peter said unto him, Lord, speakest thou this parable unto us, or even to all? And the Lord said, who then is that faithful and wise steward, whom his Lord shall make ruler over his household, to give them the portion of meat in due season? Blessed is the servant whom the Lord, when he cometh, shall find doing so. Of a truth, I say unto you, that he will make him ruler over all he hath. But if that servant say in his heart, my Lord delayeth his coming, I shall begin to beat the men servants and maidens, and to eat and drink, be drunken. The Lord of that servant will come in a day when he looketh for him not, and at an hour when he is not aware, and will cut him asunder, and will appoint him his portion with unbelievers. So you still have people to this day be like, you know what, this country might go on another 2-3 years or whatever, not measuring the time diligently like the scripture said. This stuff could pop off at any moment. You got this new guy, Naphtali, that they just got in over there in Jerusalem, and this nigga already calling in airstrikes already. So man, this stuff could pop off at any moment, and it's getting hotter too. So as it get hotter, you know, people's temper get hotter, people moves, they be more moody because it's hot. You can't really think clear. Your judgment be off when you're hot. You can think more clear when you're cool. Now, verse 47, it says, and that servant which knew his Lord's will, and prepared not himself, neither did according to his will, shall be beaten with many stripes. But he that knoweth not and did commit things worth of stripes shall be beaten with few stripes. For unto whomsoever much is given, of him much shall be required. And that's real, man. You gain a lot, you got to deal with way more. And it says, unto whom men have committed much, of him they were actually won. Now, getting back into the other part, when I was talking about how people are going to be dividing and turning each other in, it's in verse 49. It says, I am come to send fire on the earth, and what I will, if it be already kindled. Because that first death, like it's mentioned in the book of Revelation, was with water. The second is with fire. So there's the next judgment. And recently, like I mentioned in the previous video, let me go to this. You got this one video. Let me click on it.
Meet your next pillow. Why do we make our pillow in the shape of a cube? I'll tell you. New report reveals that the U.S.
Big nuke spender. Why is they doing all this at this time? You think they be trying to build farms so people can eat and shit? These motherfuckers spent $37.4 billion on nukes. But you got people that got to go to food banks. So just keep that in mind. Now anyway, when Marie started back over, it says in verse 49, I'm going to send fire on earth, and what will I, if it be already kindled? But I have a baptism to be baptized with, and how I am straight till it be accomplished. Suppose ye that I am come to give peace on earth, I tell ye, nay, but rather division. And that's what's happening. You see all these nations dividing against each other. Yeah, the little meeting that just happened recently, they were playing like they cool with each other. But meanwhile, you got them stocking up on these arrows, and the other nations doing the same thing. Now, let's see what I'm at. Verse 52 says, from henceforth there shall be 5 in one house divided. And I've seen this personally. I've been around families and stuff. You have motherfuckers going against their father. You have the daughters beefing with the mama. The mama beefing with the husband. All type of shit, man. It says, there shall be 5 in one house divided, 3 against 2, 2 against 3. The father shall be divided against the son, and the son against the father, the mother against the daughter, and the daughter against the mother-in-law against her daughter-in-law, and the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. And that's what's going to be happening, man. And it's actually happening now. So it's just going to increase even more. Then you got Esau passing out all these goodies. Like it says, I want to say what it's in the book of Proverbs. Let me get that. It says, the gift destroys the heart. Hold on. That's in the book of Ecclesiastes, It's in the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 7, verse 7. It says, surely oppression can make of a wise man mad, and a gift destroyed the heart. So, them bribes, them gifts, them goodies, we saw them gave out, when they really started snatching more and more stuff away, it ain't gonna be nothing for them to go to somebody and be like, look, we know your family member do such and such and such. Hey, can you tell us where they be most of the time? Or can you give us some more information? Whatever they ask, man. And what they gonna do? Go back to what they gonna do. That snitch program. It's fucked up, but that's what's gonna happen, man. But it's all part of prophecy anyway, so nothing to get emotional or butthurt about. Just think about, oh, hey, this precept just popped in my mind. Is a servant greater than his master? Just think about what happened to Yahweh Shah. The book of John, chapter 13, verse, let's scroll down. Go to verse 15 and just read from there. It says, for I have given you an example that you should do as I have done to you. It says, verily, verily, I say unto you, the servant is not greater than his Lord, neither he that is sent greater than he that sent him. If you know these things, happy are ye, if you do them. So, and then it goes on to predict the betrayal. It says Jesus right now, but his name is actually Yahweh Shah. So it predicts his betrayal. So Judas snitched on him. no centurions and all that. And it says, let me go down to how much he got paid for that. Because it was a certain amount of silver. And it was a little bit of silver too. Let me read on down. I'm going to start at verse 21. It says, when Yahushua had said thus, he was troubled in spirit and testified and said, verily, verily, I say unto you, that one of you shall betray me. And you can kind of look at certain people that be around, so you got to be cautious of who you really hang with, who you really call your friends, even family or whatever. The motherfucker will snitch on your ass just so they can get them gifts, them goodies, and get a fake and false safety, so to speak. Now, going on down, I'm going to jump to verse 26. It says, Yahushua answered, he it is to whom I should give a sop, and when I have dipped it, and when he had dipped the sop, he gave it to Judas Iscariot, the son of Simon. So, basically, he was just giving them the cue, like, hey, that's who's going to do it. And it just goes on more and more. I ain't going to go all the way into it. I'm going to pull this last precept, and I'll just go ahead and end this off. It's in the book of Acts. It's in the book of Acts. Let's see. I started. I'm just reading down in chapter 12. That's in the book of Acts, chapter 12, verse 1. It says, now about the same time, Herod the king stretched forth his hand to affect certain of the church, and he killed James. Why he killed James? He wasn't doing nothing but preaching. He wasn't doing but teaching people. And the brother John with the sword. That says, and because he saw it pleased the Jews, so it actually pleased his own people. Just like now, if certain people die, a lot of people be fake too. That's how you know it really be real when somebody die. You have people that never really came around, hung around, or helped you out, and none of that. As soon as you have a damn funeral, they're ready to go and go see your ass get put in the ground. Now it says, and because he saw it pleased the Jews, he proceeded further to take Peter also. Then were the days of unleavened bread. And when he had apprehended him, he put him in prison and delivered him to the 4 quinterions of soldiers to keep him, intending after Easter to bring him forth to the people. All this because what? And that snitch program. Now it says, and when Herod brought him forth, the same night Peter was sleeping between 2 soldiers bound with 2 chains and keepers before the door kept the prison. Behold, the angel of the Lord came upon him, and a light shined in prison, and he smote Peter on the side and raised him up, saying, arise quickly. His chains fell off from his hands, and the angel said unto him, gird thyself and bind on thy sandals. And so he did. And he said unto him, cast thy garment about thee and follow me. And he went out and followed him, and wist not that it was true, which was done by the angel, but thought he saw a vision. When they were past the first and the second ward, they came into the iron gate that leadeth into the city, which opened to them of its own accord. And they went out and passed through one street, and forthwith the angel departed from them. And stuff like this gonna happen again. And see, now you got more technology and stuff now, so it's just gonna happen on a higher level. Different acts gonna be done. And I love the book of Acts because it just stands for action. So there's gonna be a lot of action going on, man. So just be alert, be aware when you surround us, who you're talking to and dealing with, who you so-called calling yourself edifying. Because ain't nothing radical about teaching those scriptures. We men, I know from a personal perspective and from dealing with solid, just men, like the scripture said. We drink, eat, deal with women, because best believe we get plenty of women. work. Ain't no bums. Ain't out here being a sluggard. Ain't out here being a niggard, like the other scripture said. And just be chilling, man. But you're gonna have people that's thinking you're doing something because they got spirits on them and they want to see you fucked up anyway. So I just want to bring this up. It was edifying. Shalom to the left.